Come in.
Hello.
Hello, how you doing?
All right.
Dan Barrett with Tom
Hi,
James.
Randy Miller.
Randy, great to meet you.
Antonis Papadourakis.
Bonjour, Antonis.
Bonjour.
Je m'appelle Dan Barrett.
Oh.
Je suis de Tom James.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you, and parlez-vous anglais? Yes.
Yeah, un petit peu.
It's very nice to meet you both.
Sure.
Do you mind if I have a seat and put my
Yeah,
things
go
on this
ahead.
desk?
Go ahead.
Thank you very much.
We can put that on the chest there.
Excellent. Thank you so much, both of you, for your time today. Before we start anything, I wanted to share an article that I found in the internet for you. I think you'd find it very interesting. And I have my business card, both of them, 2 business cards
Okay,
attached. So
okay.
should you have any questions after our meeting today, please don't
Great.
hesitate to contact me.
Okay.
And I see you have one as well.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Great. Okay. So this article is basically states about how business stress impacts sales, behavior, and leadership. And I've highlighted some of the sections I thought you would find very interesting.
Okay.
So, and this applies even to our engineers, and I know we're mostly interested in sales today, and I'm happy to talk about that. I just wanted to let you know that everything is included in this article. So please take your time to read it and
Thank
enjoy.
you.
So I understand, Antonis, you are in town to recruit some salespeople at a sales competition today.
Indeed.
And how's that been going so far?
So far, so good. Very impressive competition. Some really good people that have come through.
That's great to hear.
Came to our table and able to talk to them. Yeah, very impressed.
I'm glad to hear. And Randy, are you from this area, or are you from
No,
King
I'm
of
from
Prussia?
Philadelphia.
Oh, okay, from Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Okay, and you work at the King of Prussia location?
I work over at the Bristol location.
At Bristol location, Bristol, Pennsylvania. Okay,
Close.
great. Okay, not too far away. Well, glad to have you both here. Have you spent much time in Orlando?
A little bit.
Okay. I would just like to recommend while you're in town, the Orlando Museum of Art is having a wonderful exhibit right now. Everything from the Renaissance to modern art. It's an amazing exhibit. It's very reflective of the culture here in Orlando. And while you're, as far as dining, I would definitely recommend Hillstone. It's in top of it. It's fine dining at the top of the top level. You will love it. But if you're in for, so as you're here in America, there's one thing that really says America, and that's barbecue.
Okay.
And if you like barbecue, you won't find anything better than Four Rivers. So, and they've got a few locations here in Central Florida. So
4 Rivers?
Four Rivers, yes,
Okay.
sir. It's some of the best barbecue you've ever had.
Excellent.
And
Thank
I
you.
know we have 20 minutes today. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, great. So what I'd like to do with our time today is talk a little bit about our previous meeting, see if anything has changed since then. Tell you a little bit about Tom James and maybe familiarize you a little bit more if there's some things you don't know about us. And if things line up, we can talk about moving forward from there. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Great. Would you mind if I take notes?
Don't go ahead.
Thank you very much. All right. So before we begin, I just want to verify a little something about making a decision today. When it comes to making the decision about the hiring incentive program, of course, I've talked to Lynn and Terry Lone Star and everything, but as far as making those decisions, who are some of the folks that are involved in that? So that's you. All right, Antonis.
We've discussed obviously with Randy.
Okay.
And but at the end, that's a big investment for us, so to shine on it
Understood. Okay. And how soon are you looking to make the decision?
pretty soon because we're going into the recruiting mode now.
Okay.
We are looking for graduates that will come out of school in the May-June time,
May,
but we will be making offers, and this package, if that's what it's going to be, it should be part of the offer.
Excellent.
So
Okay. And May, June, you said. Great. And what's the criteria for making a successful, positive decision today? What would you say the criteria is for making a decision to go with Tom James?
we will need to be convinced about the value this will bring over our current sign-on bonus, which is a $5,000 cash.
$5,000. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, great. So the value over your current 5,000. All right. Now, one of the things I remember from our previous meeting was that top of the line was something you were very much interested in. Is that still the case?
Still the case.
Okay, great. Now, are you considering still hiring 30 to 40 salespeople?
Yes.
Okay, so that hasn't changed.
Mhm.
Okay, and obviously women and men, no problem. And it sounds like that's about it now. And as far as engineers go, do you have a number on how many you plan on hiring for those?
Well, right now we'll be considering this project only for the salespeople.
Excellent, great to hear. Okay, So, and has anything changed since our last meeting that you can think of?
Well, I don't know exactly what Lynn had communicated to you in your last meeting, so.
Well, she was very much interested in our top of the line package, okay? And that package is actually, it's a bespoke line, so it's custom tailored suits, and it's made from Oxford materials. Oxford materials are the finest you will find anywhere in the world. We have designers from all over the country that design these materials. So I just want to let you know that that's really what Lynn has changed.
Okay.
It has really went over at the previous meeting. Does that sound familiar at
Yeah,
all? Does she
sure.
bring you up to date on that? Okay, great. So as far as, communicating value, can you expand on that a little bit for me? What do you, either of you both consider value?
Well, today, the main question I have is, we give to our salespeople as they come in at $5,000 sign-on bonus.
Mhm.
So we are considering to switching instead to a $5,000 clothing allowance, if you wish, with Tom James.
Okay,
So why should we do that? For us, the investment is the same,
okay,
$200,000 for 40 people. So what are we gonna gain versus giving them just $5,000, do whatever they want? They want to buy clothes, they want to put the down payment for a car.
Okay.
Why should we change our sign-on to a clothing allowance with Tom James? What this is gonna give to us?
understood. So what you're saying is you just want to see how I can show the value really to you, but also to the salespeople who are going to receive it, because ultimately they're going to see that signing bonus, and you might be competing with another company who is offering cash, and cash is
Yep.
great, but okay, understood. Okay, and so we want to communicate value to these folks, and I want to communicate the same
Value
value
to
to
us.
you, of course. So is there anything else you can think of? Are there any specific criteria that you can think of as far as what you might need in a suit? Are there any colors, styles, anything like that?
I think one of my concerns would be is, do you have offices across the US and Canada? Because the people who are going to be hiring will be located across both countries. So it's, and I don't want to have to bring them all back to Philadelphia to be fitted and then send them back out and then bring them back again.
Okay, so if I understand you right, you want to make sure that Tom James is able to take care of your new hires, no matter where they are in the country and possibly even the world, depending on where we go from here. Does that sound about right? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad to tell you that Tom James is globally located. Besides the United States, we're all over North America, Canada, South America, but we're also in Europe, South, African area, even in the Middle East. We've opened an office in Dubai recently. So while that you don't need all the international support just yet, we have all the major cities in North America. We've got you covered. So does that alleviate your concern there?
Yeah, even if they're located in some remote areas, people from your city would go out and visit the salesperson wherever they are.
Absolutely, and the reason why that is service is the most important part of Tom James. I mean, we are personal clothiers, but more than that, we're image consultants. And part of image is the way you look. In fact, it's the biggest part of image. So we know that Arkema is the world leader in chemicals. We're the world leader in personal clothiers. So we will do whatever we need to do to make sure that your salespeople look as professional as Arkema is supposed to look, and that they reflect the kind of professionalism and business that Arkema has. Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
Great.
Okay, so got that. Was there anything, Antonis, that really you had in mind besides communicating the value? Something that maybe said, maybe something you've done in your past to say, I really wish I had this as a hiring incentive package.
Not I can think of.
Okay, great. So it really sounds like to me that Tom James has exactly the kind of thing you're looking for. Before I go with that, though, as far as your salespeople, they're going to be on their feet 5 days a week, correct? So they're going to be wearing suits 5 days a week. That's okay. No problem. We've got packages exactly for what you need. So if you don't mind, I'll go ahead and go into that a little bit for you. So this is our corporate image custom tailored package here. All right. With this package, we're right in your $5,000 range. We've got 4 suits, 4 sport jackets, depending on what you're looking for. But
Okay.
suits, it sounds like, is exactly what you're looking for. 6 shirts and 6 ties. And you also get a $400 gift certificate worth of for the next purchase, as well as accessories. So does that sound like something that aligns up with what you were looking for?
I mean, we don't know exactly what we're looking for, so we're relying on you to propose things to us.
Would be a similar package for the women?
Absolutely. Yeah. Move on to the one right here. It's the same price for the package, it's $5,000, and it's gonna have the 4 suits and the 6 shirts, and the difference is for women, they can choose either slacks or a skirt, depending on their preference. And one of the great things about the way we talked about with Lynn, is that we're going to give them a menu of what to choose from. So they won't be able to choose anything that's beyond what Arkema would like to reflect.
Okay.
So we'll give them.
So the women is 4,500, and then you get $200.
A gift certificate, that's
Right.
correct.
Okay, so it'll be a lower cost.
Yes,
for
sir.
us.
Yeah, so it's a little bit of savings for you, but they get the same value at the same time.
Okay.
Um,
And just, as we're talking about this project, we're talking about 40 people, are looking at 40 shoots, etc. So 160 shoots.
Correct.
So it's a lot of work, a lot of material, a lot of work for Tom James that has to happen in a very short period of time, because we hired the people within a couple of months and they need to go with that.
Yes, sir.
Is there a senior executive who is A, aware of this project, and B, is fully supporting this project?
Okay, so you want to,
And if yes, can I meet this person? Because I need to get comfortable that if we go down this path, there's somebody up top that can address all our concerns or any hiccups we find in the way.
absolutely. I'm glad you asked that, and I just want to make sure that you were trying to make sure that Tom James is committed to this, committed to Arkema, committed to this process from the top down. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to tell you that I've recently spoken to Spencer Hayes. When I found out about this meeting a couple of days ago, I called Spencer Hayes. He's our Chief Executive Officer. He started the company back in 1966. And when I told him that Arkema was willing to give us some time for this, he talked to me for about an hour and told me how much he supports this kind of thing. We've actually done this kind of thing before. If you're familiar with Axis Chemicals, they're a small chemical manufacturer, but they're actually one of your competitors.
Yep.
And I would like to share with you a testimonial. They said they were more than happy to let me share it with you. And here we go. Catherine Bruno is their Chief Revenue Officer, so she's in charge of all the sales. They were able to increase their sales rate by 20%. So they've been able to turn over more by signing with Tom James, because this again, it's an image makeover. And it really shows a level of professionalism that you've never seen before. So that's right here where and I've highlighted that part for you. So I'd like to leave that with you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Another company we've worked with, also in the engineering field, it's not chemicals, but it's a Nuclear Energy Institute. They're right here in America, and their president also signed a hiring bonus package with Tom James. And we started with 10 of their sales associates, and just to see how it went. And with those 10, we were able to see a marked increase in their sales turnover rate as well. So I'll leave you with that testimonial as well, so you have some time to take a look at that.
So you mentioned your Chief Executive Officer. Would he be open in having a meeting with me?
He would absolutely be open. In fact, he would have come today, but he had a previous engagement since it was a short notice. But he said he'd be more than happy to meet with you at any time. While you're here in Orlando, especially if he needs to fly down tomorrow, that would be just great.
Okay, yeah, because I'm leaving on Tuesday, so.
We're going to absolutely. I can have him here tomorrow. He just had to
Okay.
take care of today's meeting.
Good.
All right. So if this clothing package lines up with all your needs, with your budget, with the kinds of things you're looking for, is there anything that's going to stop you from signing up today?
Well, I think first of all, I think always about money.
Okay.
So here is we're trying to make a decision on a $200,000 investment.
Right.
And if I go as an individual to Tom James and buy this package, it will be 5,000 or 5,300,
Yes, sir.
whatever it is. So if we are going to have 40 of these, can we get a discount?
No. At Tom James, we generally don't do any kind of a discount. And the reason why that is because we provide so much value. Because it's more than just, I'm going to send some suits. So we actually had a little bit of a kind of an exciting thought that I wanted to share with you, and it will help communicate that value.
Okay.
So picture you're a new salesperson, you just get hired with Arkema, you're nervous, but you're excited at the same time. You go back home, and the next day you wake up in the morning, 7 a.m., and there's a UPS or a FedEx person at the front door, and they deliver a package with an iPad. And on the iPad, there's only two things. The first thing is a welcome message from either you or maybe Thierry Lehanaf, the CEO, and just says, welcome to Arkema. Really lets them know that they're a part of the team. And then the other is a personal invitation from me to reach out to them, to let them know I'm going to take care of you for your Tom James clothier. Now, if this is a person who's out of my territory, I'll make sure to connect them with whoever is in charge in their area. But, and can you imagine how a salesperson would really enjoy that?
Yeah, I think we
It'll be pretty,
yeah, pretty cool.
Okay, great. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Okay, now, along with that, with our package, and I did want to take just a few minutes to show you a couple of suits that I brought with me. Would that be interesting for you?
Sure.
Great. This suit is from our corporate image collection, okay? And this one is actually, I'm on my way to another appointment after today. This one's actually for Cynthia Gundy. This is not a size 4 suit or size 6. Cynthia is a top salesperson for her business, and it's custom fitted to her likes and dislikes. It even has a microfiber pocket for her sunglasses. And if you just feel that quality. I mean, I understand you're familiar with Tom James, and Anthony, please feel this quality. And it's soft, but at the same time, it's durable. And and this is, of course, one of her scarves. She's very happy to have that. And that is a Super 120s. Have a look at the scarf, Randy. It's real nice. It's a Super 120s wool. It's going to keep her warm, but at the same time, it's going to last. Our suits generally last about 13 and a half years. Now, as a salesperson who's just been hired by Arkema, imagine you want them to stay at Arkema for the rest of their lives, for their entire career.
Sure.
So imagine a suit, a reminder, really, more than just a suit, hanging in their closet for 13 and a half years. It's a 13 and a half year long reminder that Arkema is here for you. Arkema cares about your professional development, and we want you to succeed. Does that sound okay?
Sounds good. And that kind of gets me to another question I had. You mentioned they get an iPad and a welcome from Thierry Lehanaf and you, and then they can get in touch with the rep in their area and order their package. So, on the other hand, we can still keep our current program that says, here's $5,000 you can use to buy an iPad or a Galaxy tablet. You can buy clothes, you can buy a motorcycle, whatever you want to buy, that's on you. So why would we change from that to the Tom James package, where they can only buy clothing?
Okay, well, if I'm not to understand you correctly, you just want to make sure that the person getting hired is going to see the value in Tom James over a cash incentive. Is that correct?
Right, exactly.
Actually, I'd like to share with you a study that was performed by the Wall Street Journal that shows that students coming out of college, what they prefer more now, maybe this was different back in previously, but what they prefer more now is a tangible incentive, something they can put their hands on. And what better tangible incentive is there than a 13-year-long tangible incentive hanging in their closet every day? And here you can see that 40%, roughly 45% more students coming out of college, and this is all disciplines. But you imagine who reads the Wall Street Journal. It's mostly sales and business folks. That's what they want. They like cash too. I mean, cash is pretty high, but tangible incentives is what they're looking for. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, good point.
Great.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else stopping us from setting up an order today?
Yes, I think it's the meeting with the CEO of the company that will give me full confidence that Tom James, to the top, is fully committed to this project. And that would allow us to make a decision to go forward, right?
Okay, that sounds great. So, when would you be available? So, do you have maybe?
I'm leaving Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Tomorrow is fairly open, so if or Tuesday morning. So if you could make it happen.
Absolutely, I will absolutely make it happen. Mr. Hayes said he could hop on the red eye tonight if he has to, and he could be here early tomorrow morning, or if Tuesday is preferable either way. Does that sound very good?
Yep.
All right, and if that works out, if everything works out with that meeting, do you foresee being able to sign up for a package?
I think so.
I think,
Yeah.
That's great. And before I go, do you gentlemen have anyone you would recommend for me to speak to while you're here in Orlando? Maybe any business colleagues that you think might be interested in Tom, James?
I think they left. The two other colleagues
Yes.
have gone, so unfortunately no. But,